Welcome back to the Dragon Den. My loyal Dragonites, King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Medicom Toys Mafex Batman Hush Poison Ivy. And so here we have Poison Ivy posed and out of the packaging, and does she look beautiful? But before we have a look at the figure, let's run through her accessories. Poison Ivy has two different heads with two different hair sculpts, multiple hands for style posing and holding accessories, a closed briefcase and an open briefcase with money, and of course she does come with the vines that attach to her body. Other than that, Poison Ivy doesn't come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at the Batman Hush Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is looking very beautiful here in her Mafex figure, and I have to say they did a really good job capturing the look of Poison Ivy from that graphic novel. Taking a look at the head sculpt, Poison Ivy has a very beautiful head sculpt. Though the face is a little more cartoony than Jim Lee artwork, it still conveys a character perfectly. Sensual eyes and those dark green lips do a really good job of bringing out the beauty of Poison Ivy. And then she does have some vines going throughout her really bright orange hair, which look amazing. Taking a look at the rest of her body, they did opt to have Poison Ivy with a light green skin, which is pretty accurate to Hush. She does have an ivy choker around her neck, and you can see she is wearing her costume from Batman Hush. Her outfit is done in this really nice deep green, which looks perfect, and the vine work going around it looks perfect. Her arms do have this really nice vine work going throughout them, and it is done in a softer plastic, and they are removable. We do get two sets of vines for each arm, one that goes around the bicep and the rest on her forearm. And sculpted on her hands is another set of vines, which look perfect here on Ivy. Her lower body continues that really nice green costume, where we can see the foliage is actually a lighter green as well. I am happy that they went with a more bikini style, something we didn't see with Huntress, but I am glad they kept it here with Ivy. And then she has vines on her legs, which are removable as well, and those do come in twos for each leg as well. And the vines wrap around nicely, going all the way down to her feet, where she is wearing green shoes. Her shoes are done in that same deep green, which look nice, and it also has the lighter foliage on the edges. Overall, a perfect representation of Poison Ivy, especially if you're a fan of the Hush comics. So with her details out of the way, let's get Poison Ivy compared to our usual suspects. Here we have Poison Ivy posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and DC Multiverse Superman. Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. The Lightning Collection White Ranger and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have Poison Ivy posed next to several other characters from the Mafex Hush line. As you can see, Poison Ivy will scale nicely to the rest of your Mafex Hush line, and because she is an import figure, she'll scale better to true 1/12 scale. With her comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at Poison Ivy's articulation. Poison Ivy has a double ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck. Ball jointed butterfly joints and ball socketed shoulders. Arms go out to the side and do a full 360. Swivel at her bicep and double hinged elbows. Hinge and swivel at her wrists. Double ball joint in her upper torso and ball jointed lower torso. Ball hinge hips kick forward, go back, out to the side, and she has a thigh swivel. Double bend in her knees, ball hinges in her ankle, and finally a toe hinge. So the standard articulation for the Mafex Ivy, and it works perfectly for the character. So with everything said and done about the Mafex Hush Poison Ivy, let's get her posed for my final thoughts. Once again, Mafex has done an amazing job with this Hush figure, and Poison Ivy continues that long lineage of great Hush figures. I love the fact that they decided to go with the lighter green skin for Poison Ivy. It does do a really good job of making her stand out in your collection. I love the fact that the vines on her arms and legs are removable, so if you don't want her with the vines, you can take them off. Although my preferred look for Poison Ivy is having the vines around her arms and legs, so they are pretty much going to be stuck on my figure. Add to it the fact she comes with a suitcase full of cash is another great accessory, and I love the fact that we get a closed version and an open version. Where this figure suffers the most is in her alternate heads. It's essentially the same head sculpt with two different hair pieces. I would have loved to see more facial expressions here on Poison Ivy and maybe interchangeable hair, but overall I still like the way the figure came out. Having Poison Ivy in the Hush line does mean we completed the Gotham Sirens, which is something I've been looking forward to ever since Ivy was announced. And with more figures coming out from the Hush line, Mafex is not slowing down on this line, which is something I really am happy for. Poison Ivy will fit in perfectly with the rest of your Mafex Hush collection, so if you haven't already done so, definitely track this figure down and add her to your collection. So with that being said, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other Mafex videos as well as all my other action figure reviews. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my fellow Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000 reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.